Well, good morning, Sunday Sacred Self-Care Yoga friends. We're just cruising into class. Welcome to Zoomers. Welcome to live stream YouTubers. If you're watching a recorded version of this, enjoy. Well, good morning, Sunday Sacred
Sorry about
Self-Care
that. I'll
Yoga
fix that in
friends.
just a
We're
sec.
just cruising into class. Welcome to Zoomers. Welcome to...
Whoops. Always something to learn.
Anyway, take a load off. It's going to be some yin yoga and restorative. Nice deep breath together. Sunday Sacred Self-Care Yoga is cultivating a mood of peace and calm and serenity. Come on, guy. Kitty, 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 kitty. Okay. Okay, I've got my coffee. I'm settled in with you. I'm going to sit and meditate while you lie on your back. Of course, you can sit as well for the first 5, 6, 7 minutes. More friends are streaming in. Welcome to Zoomers. Welcome to live streamers. If you're new to this, it's a little over an hour of yin and restorative yoga for everybody. It's not necessarily geared toward circus performers or contortionists. If you're a mere mortal, we do some good movements together that are accessible for everyone. It's mostly cultivating a mood and allowing the wavelengths of our mind to calm down and connect to source or spirit, whatever name you like to give it. So we might take a first conscious breath together. Let ourselves sink into our seat or the floor as we're lying on our back. No rush. No in a hurry to get somewhere in the future. My cat, Looney Bin, says hello. He's a huge proponent of yoga. All cats are. Up. He likes attacking me too. He doesn't mean to. Maybe wiggle your legs and your arms out. Release any residual tension from last time we released tension. Swallow once, circle your jaw around. Easy does it. If you have a pressing concern or an urgent issue, just a willingness to let it go for a few minutes, maybe it'll resolve itself or begin to if we let go of it for a few minutes. Welcome to those just joining in, Zooming, live streaming, or watching a recorded version. Anytime two or more are gathered, it releases a very powerful dynamic. You get more for your participation. Maybe let your eyes roll back in your head. Let our forehead, which wrinkles up when we worry too much, let that soften. Let the brain relax back. For a few moments, we don't have to figure everything out and explain everything. Good. Now we can move our breathing down to our diaphragm, AKA down toward our belly. That will stimulate our rest and relaxation, our parasympathetic nervous system. That's a good tool to have in our toolkit. The mind is like a giant carousel at a circus, and it just goes faster and faster unless we actively allow it to slow down. We pull the plug on it for a few minutes. Perhaps we can extend the breath a little bit, an extra beat of inhalation and an extra beat of exhalation. The condition of our mind and our countenance is so closely associated with our breath. Good. Now, 1 minute to feel whatever our feels are right now. Simply allow them to surface with the attitude of a scientist, simply observing the weather that's moving through us. It's like the summertime. Sometimes you get 116 degrees, and sometimes it's like today, 43 degrees and freezing cold. Whatever it is, we simply observe it, respond to it with calm and peace. If we digest every day's emotions, they don't build up and become emotional plaque on our spiritual system. Good, you did it. You're brave and courageous to do that. Take the biggest inhale that you can, feeling your whole life to this point. What a long, strange trip it's been. And exhale and release it. Out it goes, and now we'll just be empty. We will have pulled the plug, drained the brain, pleasingly, pleasurably empty. A container within which the adventures of life moves through. Okay, wiggle your fingers and toes, circulate feel good around your body. Please take your arms up to the ceiling, lace your hands, push your palms up, mildly extend your arms up over your head, and just a gentle Sunday writhing around on the floor. I think if the most of the world just writhed around on the floor a little more frequently, things would go better for us. And your Mona Lisa grin, you've got that secret, you got the goods. And you're thinking, everything is always working out for me, even when it seems like it isn't. Good, then please draw your knees in, roll around on your back a little bit, hugging your knees gently, smoothly, calmly. And then other way, roll around on your back. Good, and it's time to light this rocket. So we'll sit up together and we'll say hello. Hello. My name is Greg. My Zoom friends know me. They've known me for a long time. We like doing Sunday sacred self-care yoga, and also this is being live streamed on YouTube. You might be watching it live or watching a recorded version. Why am I putting it on YouTube? To carry the love and the bliss and the peace of yoga far and wide to a world that sorely needs it. If you are YouTubing it, would you mind liking and subscribing and sharing? It makes a huge difference. And sooner or later, we'll create a momentum of yoga and peaceful practice spreading across the planet. So each and every one of us can be a powerful communicator of that message. We'll bring the hands into the heart in Anjali Mudra. That's yoga talk for prayer. Drop your chin, close your eyes. A little prayer, intention, affirmation for this class today. God, love, source, being, infinite, higher organizing principle. IHOP for short. We quiet and humble our minds that we might hear the larger mind, the infinite mind. We allow our mortal selves to get out of the way. That infinite self can easily flow in and through us. Om, amen, peace. Okay, you might be asking, is this some sort of religious class? Not really. It's connecting soul with spirit. That's the definition of yoga. All right, now we're going to do some joint juice. Then we do some yin yoga. Then we do some restorative yoga, all the while cultivating calm and peace. It's not unusual for us to start with our shoulders because we're frequently shouldering the burden of life. We're carrying a very large backpack, not only our own concerns and worries. Sometimes we fill up with other people's concerns and worries, thinking we can solve their problems by carrying their issues. We should probably get over that and drop it. Other way, one, I'm also polishing my knees. It's a cold and frosty July day in the Bay Area. This is what Mark Twain was talking about when he said, the coldest winter I ever spent was a summer in San Francisco. 6. Boy, is that going on right now. 8. All right, good job. Now, if you're going to be a part of this yoga tribe, and you are, we like to chant Om. Now, of course, you're in the privacy of your own home. It's your choice whether to open up your throat chakra, but Dr. Greg, who has an honorary degree in chakras, highly recommends it. Big inhale. Feel that. You might ask, well, what does that do? And isn't it better just to feel it? Have you ever been with somebody at a restaurant and they keep incessantly asking the waiter what this dish is like and what that dish is like, and they'll never order? It's better to eat the food than pester the waiter forever. Then there are these long, pregnant pauses where the gaps in between the thoughts can begin to appear. It's not easy for some people. It's very challenging. They want to keep hearing words and being stimulated and check their cell phone and hold still. I'm being stalked by my cat. See, I can be calm even while I'm being stalked by a mountain puma. Good. We'll drop our chin. We'll take our head around 6 times. The first one might be kind of cranky and crabby. It'll open up a little. You don't have to overdo it on Sunday. We overdo it on Saturday. 4, 5, 6. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, did you know it was a yoga pose to drop your chin down for about 25 seconds? Yogis call this Jalandhara Bandha. That's a formal name. We keep it simple. Just by dropping the chin, it does a couple things. It stretches the back of the neck. It allows our eyes to close. It aims our attention down into our body. And you can also do a little breath work. There's a brand of breath called Ujjayi breathing, where you lightly drag the breath along the back of your throat, creating a little whispery aspirant sound. We can do that now. There's no rush. When the busyness, the turbulence of our mind slows down, something begins to become visible that otherwise is invisible to us. Imagine a mountain lake whipped up by wind. You wouldn't be able to see the reflection. When the water comes down, something appears that otherwise is invisible. Some people go their whole life and never see it. Okay, open your eyes. If your pet is nearby, it's also it's very healing to have your pet nearby when you're doing yoga. If you don't have a pet, go get one. Is this yoga right here? Yeah, I'm connecting with spirit. Okay, bye. Nice to see you. Inhale, yogis. These are called poofs. Your arms go behind your back, up your back, behind your neck. At the top, it's optional to say poof. Obvious physical level breaks up congestions in the shoulders. Energetic level, it stimulates the chakras along our back, along our spine. Vocal level, we say poof, that's nice. And spiritual level, we're opening up angel wings. We're all caterpillars who'll be opening up our butterfly wings pretty soon. The transition is challenging. Poof. One more. Poof. Good job. Excellent. All right. Now from here, I'm going to take my paws out, turn them up, bend my wrists, dorsiflexion, and then we're going to very carefully, very slowly, very peacefully, prudently lean into our wrists. If you're older than, say, 12 years old and you've used your hands at work or something for your whole life, chances are your wrists and your forearms have become tight and crabby. So we usually can't break up all that congestion in one day, but we can do it over a series of days. Close your eyes, drop your chin. Some people can bring the heels of their hands all the way down. Most of us can't. We shouldn't rush it, but we shouldn't avoid it either. If it feels like you're not getting nothing, then just you might oscillate a little side to side just to stir the pot a bit. Imagine how much energy, tension is locked in our wrists and forearms. Imagine that going away. Good, about 10 more seconds. Find that edge between where you can go and where you can't go. That's an interesting place to play life. Good. Now take your bent hands out of that, arms out to the side, and then internal and external rotation of your arms. Looney's my cat. Here he comes. He's unhappy that he's not out in the front yard. It's too cold to have the door open. So there he goes up the cat tower. Time for a power cat nap. Good. Now I'm going to take both my hands in behind my back, halfway up my back, inside my armpits. And then if you can touch your elbows together, that's weird. I can't, and I've been teaching yoga for a little while. Drop your chin, make some of that ujjayi breathing, and just start being happy for no apparent reason, the bliss of being itself. If we're granted the gift of existence, it seems as though that would be a rather sufficient thing to be grateful for. Although it does come with the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Good. Now we should lubricate these hands. One, if you're seeing this for the first time, just mimic. Be a mimic. Obviously, what this does at a physical level, at an energetic, mental level, it opens up mental tension. Other way, it slows down or halts the aging process. That's a bold claim. Good. Shake away cares and worries. Just run your own race, do what you can, and let things unfold harmoniously. Good. Wave hello to your bright future. You can go a little faster if you got flippy floppy hands. Good. And I've always enjoyed cupping my hands at my heart, dropping my chin, closing my eyes. And I really like the idea of connecting the vibrational feeling of my head, my hands, and my heart. If you think about it, that's thought, feeling, and action. Head, hands, and heart. Good. Now lace your hands down here. Bring them up to your throat. Turn over your hands at your throat chakra and extend up to crazy cat in his loony bin. Good. And we might do some of these. It's kind of Avatar, those big blue lizards. It's kind of improv. It's kind of rhythmic and flowing, just breaking up the congestion of our sticky minds. Good. Then we'll be knuckles heads, and we'll put our knuckles on top of our heads, and we'll turn as far to the right as we can. Then we'll close our eyes, and now we're using big muscles to twist. We don't have to twist farther than the person next to us in class. Just from the inside of yourself, turn yourself to the right. Now inhale together. On exhale, release your hands down, left hand, right knee, right arm behind you. You'll be able to advance your twist a little further. Chin level, eyes closed, spine tall, mind soft, heart open. And this is yin, spending moments in a pose. Every pose is a prayer. What does that mean? You know what it means. It's a shape of the body that is receptive to the inflow of light, love, and wisdom. Inhale here. Exhale here. Remember, of course, it's no one individual movement. It's the synergy, the synchronicity of the movements in sequence. Yogis call that a vinyasa or a thread. Good. Now lace your fingers one finger over the weird feeling way. Cup your hands down here at your Buddha belly. Drop your chin. Contemplate your navel for a moment. Have you ever heard that spiritual saying? Contemplate your navel. Good. We can open our eyes. We can bring our hands up, turn them over at your throat, stretch up to cat sleeping up above your head.
I didn't get that.
Good. Then rest your knuckles on top of your head. Close your eyes and you use big muscles to turn your torso to the left. Keep your hips and legs adhered to the floor. And just smoothly turn into your current range of motion. Yours is different than mine. Mine is different than yours. Stop thinking. Inhale. On exhale, release right hand down, left knee, left arm behind you. That'll enable you to turn a little more. It's not a competition. It's an experience. Now, at the physical level, of course, twists squeeze out. They squeeze our organs. They squeeze our cells, molecules, various pipelines through our body. That's a good thing. At a spiritual, metaphysical, energetic level, they squeeze out ancient patterns of perception, crusty thoughts, inaccurate opinions, absurd conclusions about reality. We have some of those. Inhale here and release. Good job. Okay, we'll go back to this cross of our legs. Now, you may or may not have yoga blocks. If you don't, Greg recommends going on to Amazon and getting some. I like the really big ones. Now, I'm going to put a block here. And if you can't, at this current level of your existence, bring your forehead down to a block, you could always use 2 blocks. I'll show an example of that. It's probably not that hard to explain, is it? So there's a Stonehenge. And I would go like that. The main thing, it would just be good to find the place where you could do it for for half a minute. And then grab one of your wrists with your other hand behind your back. And when this pose is done well, it does several things. It balances our head and our lower body. It puts a nice little stimulation on your third eye. But most importantly to me, it seems as though it helps me to feel weightless inside of my body. When I get it just right, it feels like my body kind of disappears and I am a disembodied point of consciousness in space. Woo woo. I like that. Nowhere to go, nothing to do. There's no escape hatch. It's just you being with you inside of your own consciousness. Good. Come up, yoga friends. Now, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can tell already this is different than a lot of other yoga classes on YouTube. I've watched many of them. I like to see what's going on. Switch around the cross of your legs. Now, I've noticed that a lot of yoga classes are young female yoga models, essentially wearing their underwear doing yoga, and they have millions of followers. And this isn't that. This is something different. So I switch the cross of my legs. I feel a little more flexible now. And now I'm just going to rest in this side. Come on down. This is called yin or meditative yoga, where we put ourselves in positions that cultivate the calming of the movement of our minds rather than stimulating our nervous systems. There's a time and a place for that. This is other than that. And come on up. There's something about this brand of yoga that, in effect, forces us to go inside and take a look, introspect. And of course, that's the hero's journey. I'm going to switch back to this cross of my legs. Okay, we'll chant an Om and then we'll move on to a different brand of movements. Big inhale. Okay, I invite you to say a prayer for yourself, a blessing for the thing most wanted or needed in your life, remembering the most important of all spiritual principles. When you ask, it is given. Beautiful. Group prayer is one of the most powerful of all spiritual activities. Okay, now we'll unfold our legs after being all folded up. Stretch your feet out in front. Span your toes open. Maybe pull back a little bit on your hip flesh. Now, just to make it slightly less uncomfortable, bend your knees just a little. Kind of push your knees and your inner ankle bones together. Put your knuckles on top of your head again, palms up. Close your eyes. Lean slightly forward like you're leaning slightly forward. Inhale. On exhale, open your eyes, push your legs out, and stretch your arms way up. This is a yoga pose called Dandasana. Danda means staff or spine. And we just sit for a moment. This is a hieroglyph of the soul. Only the most brave and courageous people are willing to close their eyes and visit their inner world. There are demons and dragons in there sometimes. If we don't do that, they're just in there rummaging around, discoloring our lives for the worse. It's better to go in there and transmute those energies into light and love. Good. Then we'll set our hands back here. We'll bring our feet into here. And we will elevate our consciousness, or at least our hips. Stretch up. Good. Come on down. What good progress we're making. These are ritual movements. This is called Baddha Konasana. It comes in incredibly extreme aversion. That was a Freudian slip. It comes in incredibly difficult versions that I have an aversion to, but this is fine. If you want to lean over here and push the right knee all the way down, you could do that. If you wanted to lean over here and straighten your left arm and push your left knee all the way. If you wanted to straighten your left arm and push your left knee down all the way, you could do that. Good. Now, this is the reason that my class is going to become more popular than young people wearing underwear doing yoga is the reflexology. So I'm going to massage the middle, center, bottom of my feet. You will never have to suffer watching me do yoga in my underwear, promise. Isn't that good news? That's the gospel today. Going to massage the middle, center, bottom of my feet. In yoga, that's called Hridaya. It means the heart, lung center, middle, center, bottom of our feet. This clears up resentments, betrayal, anger in just minutes per day. Good. Now hold some steady pressure by pushing your thumbs into your feet, not puncturing like my cat would, but pushing with prudent pressure. Now here's a spiritual axiom. Are you willing to forgive? Who needs to be forgiven? Sometimes we need to forgive ourselves. We've made a few mistakes, or a lot. How else are you going to learn? But we shouldn't keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Good. Very nice. Excellent. Now we'll bring our knees in together and we'll squeeze out those mistakes that we've made. We'll bring knees in, feet in all the way. Now your pose might be barely having your feet in and your knees don't come together. That's just the shape of your body. But if you're a bendier person and foldier, you can hug tighter, float your head up, drop your shoulders down, relax your chin down a little, and just hug yourself into cannonball pose for a moment. Nowhere to go, no better place to be. Boy, in the future, when everything works out, boy, will I be happy then. The best way to ensure a happy future is to have a happy present. That's so simple, isn't it? And yet, as simple and as common sense as that is, the super intellectual, intelligent world mostly misses that message. I'll be miserable now in order to create a happy ending. Good luck with that. Good. Now we'll counterpose. We'll simply extend our paws out, put them down. Now, with our feet further in and together, with your feet staying flat, lift up as high as you can. You can't go as high unless you're really some kind of circus performer. Lift up. Good. Now stand up on your tippy toes and bring your butt out over your heels. I know friends who can bring their knees down in this pose. Good. Now rest your heels down. Bring your butt down, knees out wide, and fold your right shin under like this. This is half kneeling and half Baddha Konasana and half fun. I'm not currently teaching math anymore. Hands behind your head. Now I've got friends, really good ones, that can almost bring their right elbow all the way down to the floor. And I've got a lot of friends who can't. So to be one of my friends, you don't have to be a contortionist, but it does make you interesting. Slightly turn your chest up a little, close your eyes and wear your beatific, angelic expression, the one that we like people to see on Facebook of us. Facebook is funny, isn't it? The sanitized cosmetic version of our life that we project to other people. I'm happy all the time. And this is what all of my meals look like. Inhale up. Stretch your arms up, kids. Now here's a challenge. Can you reach up and touch the cat and yet relax your shoulders away from your ears? Good. Now release your paws out. Set them back here. Now in a moment, we're going to lift our bum in order to stretch the front of our body. Are you ready? Exhale. Then inhale, lift a little, medium, or a lot. But it's Sunday, so lift up. Good, kitty cats. Sink down. Inhale up again. Now, cactuses, be a cactus. Turn to the right as far as you can. Relax your left hand down to your right hip, maybe your right foot if you're exceedingly flexible. Snake your right arm around behind your back, optional, and grab your left shin. I'm not kidding. I used to do it all the time. Well, not all the time, but some of the time. Have you noticed your body changes over time? That's okay. Maybe the body we're living in now is easier and more fun to live in than our seemingly perfect 20-year-old bodies. If you're 20 years old, enjoy that. Good, kitty mittens. Let's come out of this. Now, you know what's fun? Dragging this poor tortured right leg out, getting some hands on your feet. And then this is called opening your acetabulum. That's your hip joint. Take it around. Woo! A lot of people are tight in their southern hemisphere. There's a name for those people. I'm polite. I'm not going to use it. Woo! You say. Good. Now, you might just bring your right elbow under. If you can't, God still loves you. You just kind of hang on and go, oh man, sure, I'm glad I discovered Sunday sacred self-care yoga. Now, maybe this arm will whip around and you can bring this elbow under. Then appreciate your beautiful hands. Remember what Jewel sang to us? She said, they might be small, but they're mine and they're powerful. You might want to scratch up your head if you want. Good. Now, if you can, take this pointy thing on the outside of your ankle and set it outside your knee. If you're like, what is this guy doing? Just set your foot out there. It's okay. If it goes over the top, then you're an over the top kind of person. Then we're going to pull back on our hi, how you doings. Our arms will go out, and these are called palm trees. Palm trees in the breeze. That's a nice image, isn't it? Let's go to some place with crystal clear water and 80-degree oceans and go snorkeling. A fellow can dream. Good. Now, bring your hands back. Now, sweep forward. Bring your right arm under. Grab your shoulders and hug and love yourself. Quirks and foibles and all. We're infinitely pristine, perfect spiritual beings with some fascinating human proclivities. Good. Now, if your arms fold up, do that. And then go up and down and left and right with your elbows. Now, what this does something very technical. It digs the crap out of your neck, back, and shoulders. Sometimes I go roundy, because I've built up a bit of tension in my neck, back, and shoulders. When I was a kid, we learned how to catastrophize, how to extrapolate forward into imaginary futures, create worst case scenarios, and then worry about it. So now we're getting over it. We take our elbows all the way over to the right. We turn our beautiful faces all the way to the left. We kind of drop our chin, tilt our head to the left. And then now we're going to practice impending good. Imagine a mindset where we had a constant anticipatory sense that greater good was coming, not something bad, something wonderful. This is called impending good, and you have to practice it. Otherwise, breathe, calm, receptive, open mind, willing heart. Even with all of our worrying and impending doom, look how good life is. Good. Now bring your elbows back to the center. Slide your hands out to your elbows. Bring thy elbows up. And when you move from impending doom to impending good, that's called reframing. That's what we're doing right now. Now, it wasn't your fault if you were trained to worry and fret when you were a little kid, but it's your duty now to change it because your kids are watching you and they're going to do what you do. Huh? Who knew? Good. Now bring your arms down. Very good. Close your eyes. Now inside of your head, say to yourself, I am a calm and peaceful soul. See how easy and accessible this yoga is, and yet truly fantastically powerful. When you sit calmly and peacefully and do this kind of yoga, you're opening up your own valve to light, love, and wisdom. We're not just messing around here, kids. It's simple but profound. Very good. Now, we might stretch our legs out. In fact, we will. We'll wigulate them. We'll stretch up. Then we'll put our paws down. We'll reconvene by lifting up. Reformat, reset. Good, come on down. Now, feet together. Wiggling is a great spiritual practice. Okay, now on this side, you guys fold your left shin under like this. That's off limits for me. It's a secret why, none of your business. So pretend my leg is folded under, and then lace your hands behind your head, and then thrill me with your acumen by almost bringing your left elbow all the way down. Close your eyes because it's darker. Relax, and please remember that now that you're practicing impending good, that everything is always working out for you. But you might counter that and complain or question and say, well, some bad things have happened to me from time to time, but haven't you noticed it's always turned around in your favor? The bad things, the tragedies, the difficulties have always blossomed into the greatest good. And then you think, he's right. Good, yogis. Come on up. Okay, then this left shin is still folded under, back on your hands. And now you get to decide how much escalation of your undercarriage. Lift up. This stretches the front part of our body. It moves us out into life, into new experience. Good, yogis. Come on down. Then yogis inhale together. Isn't that true? All the bad stuff has always reformatted into something wonderful and glorious. This, of course, is a great life lesson. We need to learn it. Usually the hard way. Knuckles on your head. Turn to the left as far as you can. Then relax your right hand down to your left hip, even left ankle if you're bendy. Turn and look at the cats behind you, whether that's a current physical cat or the beautiful cats that are in your memory bank. Look back and see how truly and in spirit, life is a series of cats. The great cats who have left, they're in the astral heaven. They're waiting for us. When we die and we go through that white light tunnel, we're greeted by humans and mentors. But first, the cats and the dogs come out and lick our face, which is better than just about anything. Inhale here and release. Good. Oh, we dragged our left leg out. Woo! Thank God for that. Then we stretch our acetabulum. Now, when you do this, you might say something technical like woo, because people don't say woo enough. Other way. Wee. Wee. Good. Now, personal question. Doth thy left elbow goeth under? If not, just barely. This is yoga right here. It's kind of a thing. This is a thing. Then this, Michael Phelps around. You've watched the Olympics over the last 20 years, yes? Then we might scratch up our head. Now, if you can't do it yet, it represents something that you could do later. If we could do everything today, then there'd be too much to do. Good. Now your anterior malleolus, the pointy thing outside your ankle, ideally would set there, but if not, any old place until it does go there. Now, do you agree with me from this day forward to practice impending good? And if you happen to habitually notice yourself practicing impending doom or catastrophizing, you'll notice that you're doing that and you'll say, well, that's silly. I'm going to practice the feeling that something wonderful is coming my way. That is a 5 cents, please. Arms out. Lucy giving psychological insight. Is that brilliant or what? That is just the best. Then she pulls the football out from Charlie. Good. Now pull back like you're pulling back. Then left arm comes under. Grab your shoulders and quirks and foibles, idiosyncrasies, distortions and all, hug and love yourself. You might say something like, "Oh yeah, baby." Up there goes his cat food feeder. Food, yeah. See why this class is growing all the time? Fold this up, ups and downs with your elbows. I've looked at YouTube analytics, and when he's on the screen, viewership goes up by as much as 63%. Maybe some circles. Good. Now take your elbows all the way to the left, face all the way to the right, tilt your head to the right, drop your chin, wear your best Madonna-like expression, the original Madonna, not the current one if you want. Okay, now say the affirmation deep into the marrow of your bones and your molecules and your atoms and your quarks. Say, I am a calm, peaceful soul, and so you shall be. But you gotta say it. Good. Now hands slide out to elbows, cleverly grabbed the opposite way. Up they come like this. And then reframing, we tear down the old house and we reframe it. Have you ever remodeled your house? You had kind of a small, cramped house. You reframed and remodeled, and it opened up a bunch of new space. Some people never remodel their consciousness. Bummer. Arms down. Good. Relax your arms. Good. Now, I invite you, please, as we go into the Om stretch, the last couple of minutes, drop your chin and find a drishti gaze point. It's a little spot on your carpet that should probably be cleaned pretty soon. And open your eyes halfway. Your eyes are half open if you're an optimist. They're half closed if you're a pessimist. And very gently gaze at one little point. Blinking is fine, but don't dart your eyes around. Soft, steady, drishti gaze at one point. Relax your shoulders, soften your hands, calm your mind. As you gaze gently and focus at one point, we could remember we're eternal, infinite spiritual beings, and we can bring anything into our existence if we simply and gently focus upon it. The things in our reality that we don't like, we simply quit looking at. This is the hardest spiritual lesson, to peel our attention from looking at what we don't want to what we do want. Oh no, you say, I have to keep my eye on what I don't want. Yeah, just keep trying that strategy. Good. Now we're gonna do heart mudra. It's called Hridaya mudra. I think you're really gonna like it. Of course, I would think that. Now I'm gonna switch from mirror image language. I'm gonna actually put my real right hand on my knee here. My real left arm is going out here. Isn't that weird? I'm gonna do some of these. Good. Now I'm going to bring the little finger side of my left hand in to the center of my breastplate like this. That looks pretty calm and peaceful, doesn't it? Shoulder relaxed. Then we're going to make the ote symbol with our right hand. We're going to sweep it around so that little finger side also buries into the center of our chest. Bury the hatchet. Good. See how I make a nice little tent with my fingers? The whole of my right hand covers the middle digit of my left thumb. Pretty technical. Now I'm going to let my hands exert a tug on my heartstrings, drop our chins, close our eyes, and gather thy head and thy hands into the heart mudra. Stop thinking and open your heart to mercy and grace. The mercy we get, it's not commensurate with our effort. That's called grace. Amazing grace. We all need that kind of mercy and grace. You can earn a little bit of spiritual prizes, but best simply accept. Okay, now at conclusion, we might say something like, I bless all beings everywhere, always. May the greatest good come to them, even my enemies. Or as a great yogi once said, make your enemies your friends, and you'll only have friends. Good. Relax your paws. Now we're going to do about an 8-minute. Ooh, that looks cool, doesn't it? Looks like little sea creatures. Sorry, I'm easily amused. All right, now, you may not have a giant Pee Wee Herman sliding, talking recliner in your living room, but I suggest you get one. But you might have an ottoman or a couple of pillows or something. You have something. I'm convinced your living room is not bereft of anything. If so, do more yoga. It'll increase your abundance. But whatever you got, just something to park your calves up on top of, like this. Ah, I say. Now, I got this purple pillow that I pilfered from Westerbeek Ranch, where I do my yoga retreats. One's coming up in October. I hope you come. And then that goes underneath my bum. I close my eyes. And we're going to drop into the cosmic ether together for about 7 or 8 minutes. This is the fruit of the practice. This is where we assimilate, absorb, and integrate the beautiful energies that we've released. And you don't have to know about that. You just do it. Close your eyes, settle in. And as the great yoga sage Elmer Fudananda once said, relax, relax. Okay, the pose starts now. We have all the time in the world because we're going timeless. Enjoy. Okay, two more bonus Sunday relaxing minutes. Please drop deeper. Leave your body. Yogis do it all the time. Okay, friends, stay nice and relaxed, that nice blending of soul and spirit. And this is the Sunday ritual opportunity that we do every Sunday. If you'd like to invite God, love, source, being, infinite higher organizing wisdom into yourself, whatever name you give to a power greater than yourself, now is a beautiful time. It can be as simple as, come on in, great power, I open myself. It's always from choice, never from coercion or convincing. Good. Now, if you prayed that simple prayer with me, you might wiggle your fingers and toes and circulate a great infusion of love, light, and wisdom, truth, beauty, knowledge, prosperity, abundance, and joy in and through yourself. Very good. When you're ready, please curl onto your right side, fetal position, a transition back to the world. Take your time, it's Sunday. Love all over yourself. Dr. Greg gives a prescription of loving all over yourself. Good. Now, keeping your eyes closed, that's key. We sit up together, keeping this beautiful container of conscious bliss, love, and joy on the inside. And then yoga style, we bring hands into the heart. And then we realize deeply, experientially, that if you go deep into you and I go deep into me, we come to the same oceanic reservoir of love, bliss, and truth together. This is what will save us, one and all. And from that beautiful place of connection, all together we say, Namaste. Go down to my YouTube friends. Thank you for joining. Please like and subscribe, share with friends, and spread the yoga message of bliss across the planet. So I'm going to say goodbye to you, friends.